Hello there. Welcome to the Fantasy Fast Break. I'm your host, Erik, and it's December 17, Friday, and it's just about to recap Thursday night's games. But I decided to take a look at the news for a bit first, and I found out that so many guys, so many new players have been added to the league's health and safety protocols. Most importantly, um, big names this time on the West Coast side of the league. We've got the Lakers, Russell Westbrook, Avery Bradley. Initially, Malik Monk was listed as one of those players, but he has since been tested and is out of the protocols. But he's not going to be that much of an impact player, so I wouldn't consider adding him just yet. On that note, Isaiah Thomas, a veteran of the league, has agreed to a 10-day deal with the Lakers, and instead of focusing just on the Lakers in this you know um, episode, since we only have 12 minutes to talk about the league, why don't we just jump in and do a West Coast quickfire? And that way we get to tackle, and I'm able to give my 2 cents about the 15 teams on the West Coast. So yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so alphabetically, let's go. Dallas Mavericks. From what I've read, there's some toxicity left over from the era of Rick Carlisle when he was coaching the team, and I think that the Mavericks need to purge from that, some negativity from that culture that was there, and maybe there should be some kind of culture shift that Coach Jason Kidd needs to do, and we're gonna see what impact those changes will make on the team moving forward. Denver Nuggets, I'm surprised how this team somehow wins games. Uh, you know, Losing MPJ, still without Jamal Murray. So many guys either injured or in protocols or whatever. There really isn't much to choose from. This team. I've added and dropped Jeff Green. Uh, you know, for his minor contributions, but even his opportunities are not enough. I mean, I'm not expecting a lot from him. But I guess you have to ride guys like Will Barton, Monte Morris, and hope for the best. Golden State Warriors. Sad news today. On Thursday night, it's been confirmed that Clay Thompson is not going to be able to make his Christmas Day debut for the Warriors, and the soonest that he's going to get to make his debut will be on the 28th of December, and that's a bit of a bummer. I been stashing Clay in one 16 team deep league, and there's no IL spot. I've been holding on to him for like 3 weeks, and I've been suffering through so many terrible losses. And I guess it's it's really been a rough hold, but it's too. I gotta bite a bullet. I'm gonna write him, and I'm really excited. I think that he's gonna be an impact player at some point. Obviously, don't expect him to, um, you know, get starters minutes from the get go, but he'll eventually get there, and I believe that he's gonna be somebody who's gonna swing things for my team moving forward. Houston Rockets. All right. Yeah, everybody's got to be happy about a few of the games that Alperen Şengün has been able to put out. Unfortunately, he disappointed last night. But, to me, that's just a small bump in the road. And if anything, that's going to be a buy low opportunity because my outlook on Şengün is very high as a breakout player. Maybe in the second half of the season, maybe sooner. He's currently benefiting from the absence of Christian Wood, who's been out. and is going to be out, I think, for maybe another game or so. But we're going to see. Um, Christian Wood has a nasty habit of missing time due to small injuries here and there, sprained ankles, and stuff like that. So Shingun is looking pretty good. And aside from that, I think that there's a good chance that Wood might be shipped off by the Rockets before the trade deadline. Clippers. I've been suffering through the absence of Paul George, but long story short, uh, the player I want to talk about is Isaiah Hartenstein. If you're not looking at him, or if he's somehow hanging around on your wire, things are not, you're doing it wrong. Basically, he should be picked up in around 14 team leagues or deeper. He's not bad. He's actually outplayed Zubats on a couple of occasions, and he's pretty solid, looking more like the starter as opposed to the backup in that situation. Lakers, we've talked about the Lakers, Westbrook et al. Heading into the protocols. So, despite optimism that Isaiah Thomas is, being added by the team, on a 10-day deal, I think Austin Reeves is the guy to look at. He had a great game last time around. I think he's going to be given a lot of opportunity because the Lakers really like him. I think Thomas will be okay, but I'd rather speculate on him only in deep leagues. Grizzlies. All right. So I think that the Grizzlies are in a tough spot right now, obviously without Ja Morant. And I think that once Ja Morant comes back, they're going to start winning games. I think that with Morant back, guys like Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bain, who I love to bits, by the way, um, are going to be able to provide Morant with the floor spacing that he needs to do his work. So watch out for the Grizzlies when Morant gets back. Minnesota Timberwolves, I was impressed. I think that was Wednesday night when, Anthony Edwards hit the career high 10 threes. And as far as I'm concerned, this team is one more star or a couple of role players away from being, a playoff contender. Maybe not necessarily a championship contender, but, they're going to do some damage. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the trio of Russell, Edwards, and Towns. Just add a little bit of more extra punch, and the Wolves are going to be dangerous. The Pelicans. Here we are. Um, there's really not much to say outside of the already beaten, to death story of Zion Williamson. On a positive note, he's received injections to accelerate the healing of his surgically repaired foot. But I wouldn't rush to pick him up just yet. I wouldn't stash him, actually, because the timeline is far too long to expect to have him back to help your team out. But well, what would this quickfire be without the hot take? My hot take is Herbert Jones, maybe in a season or two from now, is going to be an elite defender. Maybe not along the level of Matisse Thybulle just yet, but he's going to be a solid steals and blocks guy with solid field goal, who's going to be a value player, maybe hovering between top 100, 150, you know, for years to come. OKC Thunder, oh no, they lost Lou Dort, and there's really not much to like out of this team. But on the good news, they have four games next week, and I am going to be picking up Kenrich Williams in as many deep leagues as possible. I think that he's going to be able to produce reasonable stats uh, over those next four games, given the lack of production and talent available. I mean, give me a break. Aaron Wiggins is not really going to be able to fill in the shoes that Dort, or fill in the void that Dort is leaving behind. Kenneth Williams is going to be amazing off the bench, and he's going to give you a potential 1-1-1 stat set over the course of those four games. Phoenix Suns. I love the Suns. As far as I'm concerned, my fingers are crossed. I'm hoping that Chris Paul and the Suns finally win the NBA championship this season. They've been playing great. And as far as I'm concerned, they're they're the team to beat. I mean, they're winning games right now without Devin Booker, and unfortunately, they are what they are, and there really isn't a hot pickup I would recommend. But recently, I think maybe a week or two back, Cameron Johnson officially entered uh, the must-hold uh, orbit in standard leagues because he's just been killing it. Not just He's no longer just a 3 point specialist, but has become a full blown 3 and D contributor all around. Portland Trailblazers, obviously Anthony Simons is somebody to look at as far as production is concerned, while CJ McCollum is sidelined with his collapsed lung. And I'm really happy for Robert Covington, for managers who have Robert Covington, because ever since Chauncey Billups made that tweak to start Larry Nance, for some reason, Covington has become more productive. You're piling on those steals and blocks, and it's just been crazy how he's been, suddenly waking up with value. All right. Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox went into protocols. We're going to see a lot more of Davion Mitchell in the coming week and change. So he's somebody I'd recommend picking up wherever you have opportunities to do so. He will be playing alongside Tyrese Halliburton, and that's going to be an interesting backcourt to watch because both of those guards are pretty solid defenders overall, and I think they're going to be able to play off each other quite well. Okay, San Antonio Spurs. I've already in episode one, I was talking to Marco how Deontay Murray has been amazing, and I think now is the time to also mention Derek White. Derek White over the past 3 weeks has been an absolute monster. Um, as I mentioned, it was him who I had my eye on from the very beginning as somebody to really leap off from his original ADP and produce amazing value. Unfortunately, I missed out on him. I don't have any Derek White shares, so boo to me. But yeah, I think he's going to kill it ROS and probably flirt with anywhere between top 50 to top 75 value moving forward. So if you have Derek White, congratulations. Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz, used to be known as a great defensive team, but now they're running one of the best, if not the best, offenses in the league, and it's crazy how things are working out. And a big part of that is uh, the better shooting and better health of Bojan Bogdanovic. I think that's a critical aspect of the Jazz's situation now that's been overlooked. And aside from that, Donovan Mitchell has just been killing it. Unfortunately, I don't have any recommended ads or pickups from that team because you pretty much know what you're going to get. Well, just in case anyone ever makes the mistake of dropping an underrated guy like Royce O'Neal, obviously I recommend pouncing on him and picking him up. And that's it. There we go. Um, that's it for the West Coast, coast to coast quick fire, and that's it for my 12 minutes. Thank you for watching the Fantasy Fast Break, where you get the fantasy advice you need in 12 minutes or less. I'm Erik Ong. Follow me on Twitter at Rotomancer. Peace.